Namaskar.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good
Oh,
morning.
Good morning. Good morning,
Good
Vijay.
morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Good morning. Very good
Good
morning.
morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning and good evening both to you.
Yes, for me, good morning. For you.
Hello, good morning, Ashaq.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Dr. Syed,
Dr.
you should
Singh,
start.
yeah, Dr. Singh has joined now, so we'll start now. Today we have an interesting topic in continuation with 3 days back, 20th topic on biogas. Now the question is, when you look at energy, we are all forms of energy creation. Energy changes from one form to another. That is life. When you really see it, that is exactly life. You can't be stagnant energy. We studied electricity, and that we told again, electrons moving is a form of energy, like magnetism. Electricity comes heat, it comes light, all different form of energy. Now look at Indian scenario. We have a challenge of bringing energy to homes, rural. So this has been, I think, from the hundreds of years, and a lot of claims done. Every village has got electricity or energy, whatever may be. Basically, the energy requirement in villages, we see two forms. One is you require for cooking, lighting, as well as the energy for their equipment or whatever they're using. Now, we know only electricity, which has been a problem again to pull it for the long distances, the losses, what they occur. And like in India, the country, we can probably find a solution which is localized. You see, always people told building dams has a different purpose, but you have to catch the rain where it falls. That is a better way of irrigation management. Same way, energy also. There are options available now. You have to India, you have to find the best option using localized available, like probably biogas, one of the solutions. Solar is the one which government has put a lot of efforts into it. And we have the normal power plants using coal and hydroelectric as well as atomic power plants. So we'll have an interesting topic about how in Indian scenario, how the energy technologies, different technologies available. And then we'll continue with yesterday biogas, on 20th, the biogas, what you had talked. We'll have a tag group, one member giving an opinion on how to go about that problem. Then we will also see today a part on how to measure energy in the farm level. Because I was always telling about we have to measure, we don't know, like electricity is free, people are talking everywhere, for the farmers, but we really don't know how much is utilized. So I will give the technical session on how to measure the energy, electrical energy in the farm. With these few words, I will ask Dr. Indramani to introduce the speaker, Vijay.
Thank you, Dr. Syed, Professor Singh and friends. We have second seminar of webinar series 2.0, and we have a wonderful speaker, Dr. Virendra Kumar Vijay. He is chair professor at Center for Rural Development and Technology, IIT Delhi. He is national coordinator of Unnat Bharat Abhiyan of Ministry of MHRD, Government of India, and he is coordinator of Biogas Development and Training Center supported by MNRE, Government of India, IIT Delhi. Dr. Virendra is member Board of Governors of IIT Bhilai, Chhattisgarh, and member of Academic Committee, Indian Naval Academy, Kerala. He is General Secretary of Biogas Forum and Indian Coordinator Sustainable Energy and Environment Forum. Many other responsibilities Dr. Virendra Kumar Vijay is soldiering, and above all, he is a wonderful agricultural engineer who is spearheading the cause of agricultural engineering. And we have been discussing with him that how to open agricultural engineering program in IITs and in NITs. And during last meeting with him in DST, I had a discussion how should we go ahead in this regard, and how to make bioengineering or biosystem engineering much more useful and in problem solving of today's world. Dr. Virendra Kumar Vijay has been working in this area from last many years, and he has a He is basically a celebrity in this biogas energy area, has done a lot of work, both at technology side and at its application in the field and commercialization and all other issues. In my initial talk with him, we decided that topic will be bioenergy, technology, and transition. So this will be the around this we will be talking, and he mentioned within this our initial chat that initially he will be discussing a little about agriculture engineering, what is going on, and then he will come to the real topic, that bioenergy, technology and transition, and how how the energy problem of the country can be solved, particularly in area of agriculture. With this, and once again, I welcome you all, and I request Dr. Virendra Kumar Vijay to start his talk. Dr. Virendra Kumar Vijay.
Namaskar.
Uh,
And I am very grateful and thankful to Indian Society of Agricultural Engineers, who is organizing this kind of webinar. And I think I can share my slides.
Okay, okay. Just a minute.
Yeah,
Setu, can you close
yeah,
it? He can.
yeah,
He can open. Give him share.
yeah. Yeah.
Now you take the share. Now you take
Yeah,
the
okay.
share, please.
No, it is saying host disabled participant screen
No,
sharing.
he will enable now.
It is enabled. Please check.
Okay.
Enable.
Sure,
It's
sure.
enabled.
Yeah.
Setu, disable all the mic excepting Dr. Vijay.
Yeah. I'm not getting.
No, Setu, can you help me more? You click the share screen. Click it. Can you see the share screen?
It is not visible.
Share screen.
I have clicked share screen.
Okay.
Then how to go ahead?
No, but have on the desktop, do you have the program running? PowerPoint
Yes.
already?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
You have PowerPoint desktop में running होना चाहिए.
How
It must be on the.
अच्छा. Just a minute.
So if you are having difficulty, I have the presentation. I can share
No,
it from there.
no. He wants no. So Setu, wait a minute. He wants some a video to be played.
Okay.
Just wait a
Later
second.
on.
We'll wait a few minutes. No problem. If you are not used earlier, it will be difficult to get the video playing everything. Then I think Setu can.
Let Setu run, Vijayji.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am going. Just a minute.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Where it is? I think you can say I'm getting.
Setu, please, you do it, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, first of all, I would like to thanks the organizers for inviting me for this talk on bioenergy technologies and its transition. And you see all over the world, there is a different kind of paradigm which is coming out after this COVID-19 pandemic all over the world. And in that situation, in India, still we are having 68% of population residing in rural areas. There are more than 700,000 villages. If we count cities, only 10 metros, nearly 750 districts, only 3,500 block development offices, towns, and in total we count cities or towns or metros, it totally maybe nearly 5,000, whereas we still have 700,000 villages. So if we will not think about our villages, we will not develop our villages, we will not develop our agriculture and animal husbandry system, we will not be able to achieve what we are looking for as a self-reliant, a developed nation, a forward nation in the world after this situation. And at the same time, one thing which is very becoming important for our country is that people who are living in urban areas, mainly cities, like big cities and medium cities and small cities, they are moving back to their villages. They don't have their confidence level high living in the urban areas, living in the cities, and they don't know what will happen to their employment, what will have happen to their economy, what will happen to themselves if this kind of situation prevails for long time of period. In next 2 months, 3 months, 1 year, 2 year, 5 years, nobody knows about it. So we have to look at different kind of paradigm. In last 100 years, the paradigm of development we followed were mainly the Western paradigm of development model we had followed. And in that model of development which India adopted in last 100, years resulted into polluting our soil, polluting our water, polluting our air, and with minimizing our employment opportunities. So आप देखिए कि in the whole country we are having more than 10-12 crore youth unemployed. We have to provide them employment, and they are not able to get any kind of job or employment opportunity or skill to for their livelihood. So there are two greater challenges before all of us. One side, we have to develop technology. We have to develop utilize technologies which is environment friendly, and at the same time we have to also see that everyone in the country gets good employment opportunity. And at that context, if I remind next last 300 years, when in 16th century and 17th century, India was called as a golden bird. आपने सुना होगा सोने की चिड़िया हमारा देश कहलाता था, और आप उसमें समय देखेंगे कि we were the most advanced country in the technology. Whether you name anything, whether you name ढाका का मलमल आप कहिए, हमारे artisans, हमारे villages were so empowered, we were so enriched. In the global economy, India's share was 1/3 of the global economy in 16th century and 17th century. And today, what is the share of Indian economy in the global economy? It is less than 1%. Why it was there in 16th, 15th century? Because the technology, because the skill, because our agriculture, because our animal husbandry, because our skills of villagers were so enriched, so skilled that every country in the Europe and other countries wanted to do business with India. In 17th century, the Dutch, the Portuguese, the Britishers, they wanted to do business with India to earn money. And therefore, we have to see the different scenario in modern world. that how we can again flourish in that context, and we can make our villages again in that category, so that they start flowing their economy in a way. And here, role of agricultural engineer is very important in the whole global
Okay.
economy. If you see, the economy is transiting from global economy to bioeconomy. Everyone is talking about green technologies. We cannot afford to have a technology which is not environment friendly. So the climate change we are saying, every country has the mandate to reduce its greenhouse gas emissions. How we can reduce our greenhouse gas emissions? By only by the way of utilizing the environment friendly and green technologies. And in that context, we have to see the technology which are relevant to our society, technology which are relevant to our villages, technology which are relevant to our towns, technology which are relevant to our cities. And therefore, we cannot follow the technology which are there in large agriculture system, or in America or in Europe and other countries. We have to see ourselves. That's what our Prime Minister has said when he was addressing to the nation. कि देखिए, हमको लोकल बनना पड़ेगा, लोकल को ही ग्लोबल बनना पड़ेगा, लोकल को ही ब्रांड बनना पड़ेगा. और लोकल का मतलब क्या है कि वी हैव टू एम्पावर आवर विलेजेस, वी हैव टू एम्पावर आवर डिसेंट्रलाइज सिस्टम, वी हैव टू एम्पावर आवर resources. So in that way, we can reach out to that level, that then whole world is before us, and we can globalize in a way that India can give direction to the whole world, not America or China or other countries which are now trending in a way, collapse way. And you see what is happening to all these countries. And here, India can lead the way to the whole world. So when I'm talking about the bio green energy or bioenergy, now for last 10, 15 years, people have started talking about bioeconomy. Bioeconomy, what does it mean? कि हमें जो भी काम करना है, जो भी टेक्नोलॉजी बनानी है, जो भी डेवलप करना है, it should have organic input, should have bio input. And in biosystem, it is related to agriculture system, it is related to animal system, it is related to human system. And the combination of all these things can really deliver something beneficial to the environment, something beneficial to the economy. And in that way, we can surpass all the hurdles if agriculture engineers put forth their vision, their activity, and their systems of soil and water management, farm machinery and power, energy in agriculture, food process technology. So the food processing technology, we don't want the commercial system. Food processing technology, again, at the rural level, how they can process their agricultural produce, how they can produce their system and process system and earn money. Again, in farm machinery and system, how a small farmer can be empowered utilizing those technologies. Again, in our soil and water conservation system, how we can have more organics in our soil, top layer of soil. So all these contexts are now becoming very important for us, and agriculture engineering has more importance. I am in IIT system. For last 20 years, I am serving IIT Delhi in a center, particularly Center for Rural Development and Technology. Until last 2015, this kind of center in all most of the IIT, all IITs, particularly IIT Bombay, IIT Kharagpur, IIT Guwahati, and Madras, and IIC Bangalore also. We were considered as a second grade citizen in IIT departments and centers. But in last 4 5 years, our centers like ours in all IITs and other places have emerged at a very big level. And today, I am just happy to share with all of you that Center for Rural Development and Technology in IIT Delhi is the most important center in the institute. It has maximum funding in all the departmental centers of the IIT Delhi. So you can understand the importance given by the government, importance given by IITs to serve our societies, to serve our villages. Because now time has come to link our education system with the society. All over the world, now education system or academic programs are being linked to the societal development. And in that context, you see more that these kind of centers are becoming more important. Recently, for last 3 4 years, we were trying with the MHRD that MHRD now in new IITs they should also have Center for Rural Development Technology, and not only Center for Rural Development Technology, but also then agriculture engineering in few IITs, because only one IIT has agriculture engineering branch in IIT Kharagpur, and that was started in say long back before 55 years. But today there is a more need of this kind of technology, this kind of branch of that. In future, it is only not only the mechanical or electrical or chemical engineering, but if we want to link our technology, our system, our institution to the society, when 70 68% population residing in villages, we have to have this kind of branches also. So we are proposing two branches. One is agriculture engineering in new, mainly the new IITs, where those who are having lands and they can open agriculture engineering, and also a development engineering BTech program, where all kind of technologies can be utilized for village development and rural development and supporting district collectors and district administration in developing rural areas. So MHRD is considering. I have also requested ISA to put forth their vision, their request to MHRD minister. We had discussion with the secretary MHRD. I had discussion with the minister, and as MHRD has requested all the IITs to make new centers for rural development, few new IITs can also adopt agriculture engineering BTech program and departments in to set up in their IITs. And because they are setting up their campuses, so it will not be difficult to have agriculture engineering branch in those campuses. So this is one side, one program, and we can contribute a lot in that new paradigm, new development which is taking place all over the world. And till now, the IITs were seeking for cutting edge technologies, were serving mainly the multinational companies, big companies, and Europeans and Americans. So I was always requesting IIT faculty members, students, and other people, when you will start doing thinking about India. You are Indian Institute of Technology. You are not American Institute of Technology.
I,
So
I think
for many years, these IIT students were going to the USA, serving those companies, serving America. But now people are
I,
staying here.
Dr.
Yeah.
Vijay, sorry to interrupt you. I think
Now,
15 minutes. You come to the topic if possible.
that's now I'm coming. Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So in the whole concept, when I was discussing it with everyone, how we can have that in a farmer who is in village should also support his children, that they should also become farmers. So that we have to think over that farmer, when he will feel that it is beneficial for him, then only he will promote his children to adopt agriculture as a profession. And that paradigm we have to develop. We have to make a system that everyone, every farmer in the village should engage their children in agriculture activity, farming, and that becomes a beneficial for them. So looking to all these points, now I'm coming to the topic bioenergy, the technologies and transition. So for for last 20-25 years, I am particularly working on biogas technology. So we can talk about whether it's a thermochemical process of gasification or biogas anaerobic digestion or animal power energy, or we can make use of any locally available resources or biomass energy. So there may be different technologies which can be shared with all of you, but I will focus my talk on utilization of biogas power for various applications. For last 100 years, India was the first country who has given the first biogas plant in the world. 1895 in Matunga, Mumbai, India has set up a first biogas plant in the world. And after that, various developments have taken place. And for last 20 years in IIT Delhi, we were working on how we can make use of biogas for vehicular application. So generally biogas, this is an anaerobic process where organic material is digested into forming of two gases, mainly the methane and carbon dioxide. And in methane, nearly it is 55 to 65% methane, 35 to 45% carbon dioxide, a little amount of hydrogen sulfide, carbon and other gases. So when we want to make use of it for cooking application, there is no issue of and purification is required. You can make use of biogas for cooking application. Even for lighting, you can utilize it for Petromax lamp, and it can be utilized as a kerosene or LPG for lighting purpose. But if you want to use biogas for electricity generation or for regular application, you have to purify it. So for particularly electricity generation, if you want to use it in IC engine, then you have to remove hydrogen sulfide from it, and then you can also have to reduce carbon dioxide content from it. So there are various technologies available for removal of hydrogen sulfide, removal of carbon dioxide from it, and then you can make use of it for electricity generation. So there are many engines are available where from 1 kilowatt to say 1 megawatt or even 5 megawatt engines are available, which can utilize biogas as a fuel and then produce power. Then we can also utilize this for vehicular application by removing hydrogen sulfide, carbon dioxide from it and moisture content from it. So based on our technology and development at IIT Delhi, we have purification system in which utilizing the water scrubbing system from bottom, we are passing.
Dr. Vijay, if you want to say next slide, you have to tell next. Then only he will change the slide. If you want to change the slide, you can see the slide. What is there on the screen or not?
It is not coming on my screen. Anything.
It has to come on your screen also. Okay, biogas utilization now.
Just a minute.
Okay, now it's a biogas production utilization. Second screen only you are having. Second slide only still now going on, and 20 minutes over.
So can you just maximize your Zoom?
Zoom, maximize your Zoom.
Okay. It is not coming out. I don't know what is happening. Yeah. Now it has come. So
you have to tell next to go to the next slide. You have another 15 minutes. You have another 15 minutes time. Then we'll have discussion, a lot of discussion on the topic, because a lot of entrepreneurs are interested to start biogas.
Sure. So before I'm not going in detail about the basic technology, but I would like to show two videos. First, I would like in next 2-3 minutes, I will just give a background of biogas technology, and then we will show video, and then we will have discussion on it. So we can make use of it for biogas vehicular application. So IIT Delhi patented this technology, and then based on that, MNRE has launched a scheme, biogas fertilizer plants, and given subsidy on that. And about 15-20 biogas upgradation systems were installed in the country as a commercial plants. After that, recently, Bureau of Indian Standard has made a biomethane standard based on our input from IIT Delhi's vehicle, and that is IS 16047, and we can utilize that standard for biogas purification. And this now in 2018 onwards, Ministry of Petroleum has came out with a new program that is called SATAT, SATAT, Sustainable Alternatives Towards Affordable Transport. And now they are making it mandatory for the petroleum companies to produce biogas from agricultural residues, from cow dung, and from other utilization. And that is in SATAT program, Ministry is expecting about 1,70,000 crores investment in next 5 years from Indian Oil, from BPCL, HPCL, and they have already expressed of interest were invited. They have sanctioned Indian Oil, HPCL, BPCL sanctioned nearly 450 LOIs, expression of interest, and letter of intent was issued to the private entrepreneurs to set up biogas production purification systems of large capacity in Punjab, Haryana, Karnataka, and Maharashtra. And also, Government of India has issued a gazette notification that anybody who would produce biogas in villages or in rural areas or in cities and purify it to the level of biomethane standard IS 16087, and then they can supply it to any petroleum company, whether it's a HPCL, BPCL, IOCL, and the rate is fixed 47 rupees, 46 rupees per kg. Biogas is mandatory, they have to buy. They cannot deny, neither Indian Oil nor HPCL nor BPCL can deny anyone who is selling, who is supplying biogas to these companies. So this is the process that how we can have self-reliant in our energy consumption system. And presently more than 8 lakh rupees crores petroleum products are imported, and in next 10 years how we can have 10% contribution from our these bioresources, particularly biogas and CBG, and they call it compressed biogas. CBG slogan, in next 6 months you will be seeing all the petrol pumps with CBG, compressed biogas boards will be there, and they will be selling compressed biogas. So this is just about compressed biogas, and a few biogas plants have been installed in various locations in the country, and they are utilizing it, compressed biogas. They are selling it into cylinder to industries as a replacement of LPG. And at Kolhapur, Wardha, Kolhapur, Maharashtra, they are now, and Pune and some other places, there is a CNG filling station, and rather compressed biogas CBG filling station, and they are selling their gas to any CNG vehicle, and there is no need for any change of vehicle. Any CNG vehicle can utilize the biogas CBG instead of CNG. So there is no need for modification of the vehicle. If you are utilizing CNG in place of CNG, you can utilize compressed biogas because the same protocol, same standard, same quality of gas is there. Generally, CNG has 89 to 93% methane and remaining hydrocarbons, whereas in compressed biogas, we are having nearly 95, 96% methane content, 4% carbon dioxide and other gases. So the calorific value is better and everything is good. And for last 8 years, I am running my vehicle on biogas, and it has crossed more than 80,000 kilometers run on biogas, and its emissions are better. Its performance is very good. We are studying its emissions, its engine performance, its derating, degradation in cylinders and other things. And in that respect, now this has been rolled out to the whole country by the MNRE and Ministry of Oil and Natural Gas. And very soon you will be seeing that already 20 plants, 20 high capacity biogas plants based on rice extra has been sanctioned and started in, not started, but the construction and procurement has been started in various parts of Punjab and Haryana, and they will soon be making biogas, and then it will become a national program, and will see that all kind of waste, agricultural residue, cow dung, organic organic materials, organic waste, industrial waste will be utilized, municipal solid waste will be utilized for biogas production, and to save, to improve our rural economy, to improve our economy, and to provide a self-reliance in terms of energy. So, can I share one video?
You have to share. Video we don't have. You have to share.
No, I have to share. Yeah.
Yeah, you share. You can share. He can give the share, but
Okay, okay.
can you play the video now and try it first?
Yeah,
The last
allow
time you
me
did
to
not-
share. Yeah, yeah, please. Because
Yes.
day before
Yeah,
I also shared in Zoom. Yeah.
You can share your video now.
Okay, okay, okay. Just a minute. But but it is
You just play the video on your screen. You just play on
Okay.
your computer. You first
Okay.
play on the computer. Okay. Then I will tell you what you have to do.
ठीक है. Yeah. Yeah, it is playing now.
Now go to share. Go to share
Okay, okay.
and press share now.
Just a minute. It is uploading. Yeah.
You press share. If you press share, it will show the screen. There the video will be there small. Desktop it will show you when you press share. Does it show the desktop when you press share?
I don't know what it is.
I think this
Yeah, yeah.
you got
Now
it?
But whenever I am showing share, it is coming only Google Drive, Box, and Microsoft OneDrive. It is not
What you have?
coming to my
What is?
desktop.
No, it will come always desktop only. What you have in desktop will come.
Basic.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes. So if you're saying Microsoft OneDrive, Google Drive, then there are
Uh-huh.
3 tabs above: basic, advanced, and files. Click on
Yes.
basic, please.
Okay, basic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now you can see your video.
You see your video running?
Not showing.
Is a video running?
No.
There's a video
Video-
running in the background.
Acha. Again, I have to run. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is running.
Yes. Now click
Now-
on share.
Acha. Correct. Yeah, it is coming now.
Yes. Do it fast, sir.
Share. Yeah, yeah. So
Now, if
this
you
is-
want, you can play the video again from the
Play the
start.
video again.
Okay. So this is a one Gosala in Rajasthan, and it is nearly 500 cows, and it has two biogas plants. One is 65 cubic meter, another is 45 cubic meter. The beauty of this Gosala is that it doesn't have grid electricity connection, and what they are doing, there are 20 laborers who are doing service to this Gosala, and all these 20 kitchens they are connecting, utilizing biogas for their cooking application. So there is no requirement of LPG, and when there is no grid electricity connection, they are having 20 kilowatt gen set, and this 20 kilowatt gen set they have put 100% biogas based engine genset, which is producing electricity and making use of electricity whenever there is a requirement. So every day they are running it for nearly 4 5 hours in a Gosala. And this particularly biogas upgradation plant has been put up by IIT Delhi, and it was a sponsored project from the PCRA to support, demonstrate our technology in a Gosala. And here we are purifying biogas, making it 95% methane content in the purified. This is high pressure compressor. At 150 bars, it is compressing to into the two cylinder dispensing system. So, and utilizing a three purified biogas into a three-wheeler. So this is a two-cylinder dispensing system, whereas in CNG dispensing system we are having about one more than a crore rupees dispensing system, whereas for rural areas or villages we are having this kind of a small 1 lakh cost two-cylinder dispensing system. So that is the advantage, that at any in rural areas, if we are able to produce large quantity of gas, purify it, and then we can have also a dispensing system which can be utilized for refilling our three-wheeler or car or two-wheelers. So we are working on a system that how we can have two-wheelers based on biogas. So we are collaborating with some companies, and one of my PhD scholar is working on that. That in very soon, within a year or two, we will be having two-wheelers running on biogas or two-wheeler running on CNG. So you can see in most of the villages, they don't generally have cars. Cars are generally in urban areas, or very few families are having car. But villages, most of the families are having two-wheelers. If we are able to connect and utilize biogas for fuel as a fuel to two-wheelers, we will be contributing a lot for the self-reliance of our villagers. So they need not to do a petrol pump. So what is our plan in biogas is that in a small size biogas plant in a household, we can make use of agricultural residues, we can make use of households fecal waste, we can connect our toilets with all these biogas plants, and cow dung can also be utilized. So all the materials can be utilized for biogas production. Biogas in a cluster of 4 5 6 houses, you can have a small biogas upgrading unit and low cost biogas compressor, which can be utilized for filling their purified biogas in their two-wheelers in a colony or in a cluster of say 4 5 6 houses, and then they need not to go to the petrol pump for their transport application for their vehicles refilling. So the vision in this is we are collaborating with MNRE, we are collaborating with the Ministry of Oil and Natural Gas, and very soon, in next 2 3 years, you will be seeing that every household in Swachh Bharat mission, already 12,000 rupees are allocated for toilet creation. 12,000 subsidies available on biogas plant.
Dr. Vijay, you will have 3 minutes more. 3 minutes.
Okay. Then, so I have shown the technology, and IIT Delhi technology I would like to show for 3 minutes, and then we will have the discussion.
Please.
Yeah, just a minute.
Connect the other one.
Is it visible?
Yes, sir, it is
we can.
visible.
Yes.
Yeah. So earlier we were utilizing cow dung. Instead of that, we are utilizing the de-oiled cake, jatropha or pangamia, or non-edible de-oiled cake. And for biogas production, 25 kilogram of cow dung is required for production of 1 cubic meter of gas, whereas only 1 kilogram of pangamia or karanj or jatropha de-oiled cake is required, and we are mixing about 4 times 5 times water in it. And this is a 20 cubic meter biogas plant. For last 30 years we are running this biogas plant in IIT academic area, and upgrading biogas. This is our laboratory for biogas enrichment bottling. This is our water scrubbing tower for our experiment purpose. And then from bottom we are passing gas, from top we are spraying water. There is a 10 bar pressure inside the column. There are some packing materials which can give more time for dissolving our carbon dioxide into water, which is coming out from the bottom, and purified gas comes out from the top. And then we are filling it to pressure vessel, and then removing moisture from it, utilizing a deep refrigerator, and then utilizing a high pressure compressor which can compress it to 200 bar. We are again filling it to two cylinder dispensing system. This is a high pressure compressor, 5 cubic meter per hour capacity, and this is two cylinder dispensing system which can dispense gas to any vehicle at 200 bar. So this is our vehicle which we are operating on biogas for last 8 years, and it has crossed more than 80,000 kilometer run on biogas, and its performance is very well. And you can just have a glance that how biogas is filled into this. Yeah, so this is the only vehicle
Okay.
which is running on biogas. So now, in the conclusion, I can say that there are vast opportunities to undertake this is as an entrepreneurial activity. Biogas you can utilize, and small scale biogas plant you can construct. Already more than 5 million biogas plants have been supported by MNRE, and subsidy was given. Out of those, nearly 1 million biogas plants are effectively working in the society and different villages. Then you can have local entrepreneurs who can repair, maintenance, construct biogas plants. Then you can have a small decentralized power generation system that in a whole village you can collect your cow dung, collect your agricultural residue, collect your organic materials, produce biogas, generate power, and distribute power. And this is a decentralized electricity distribution system. So like solar energy system, you can have
Sure.
small scale decentralized biogas electricity to the families. Plus, you can also have a system where you can produce biogas, upgrade it in a small cluster of 4, 5, 6 villages and 4, 5, 6 houses in a village. And then technologies are being developed. IIT Delhi is trying to develop a technology to reduce and minimize the cost of biogas
Yeah.
upgradation, as well as a low cost compressor system which can compress at village level.
Please.
So two-wheelers are being developed, and when it will be utilized in two-wheelers, it will be a boon to the country that in villages, most of the people are utilizing biogas for cooking, biogas for power generation, biogas for vehicular application, and it will provide a self-reliant system to our villages. That's all what I would like to propose to all of you, and then I can have any.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Vijay. Very informative about biogas. Uh, as a host, I have privilege of asking the first question to you.
Yes, sure, sure.
You have mentioned 30 years people are working in biogas. I also know a few people. I personally have not worked in biogas, but 30 years you're working. Now, you told me last 8 years you're driving a vehicle also with the biogas.
Yeah.
Now, suppose as an entrepreneur, I
Uh-huh.
start an enterprise for biogas generation for using in the let's say vehicle or something. Will
Uh-huh.
you invest 25% of your savings, or your colleagues will you recommend to invest 25% of money into this? The reason why I'm asking is it really economically viable? Somebody can
Yes.
put money or not? Then
So-
why it has taken so long time till we don't see in the market?
Huh.
Thank you.
So till now, for small scale, it is not economically viable. So as a small entrepreneur, I cannot invest for economic gain. But for large scale system, like at least minimum 2,000 cubic meter per day capacity and more.
How
It is
much
economically
investment?
viable.
How much money? How much money investment
Huh.
required?
I'm just telling you. So for 2,000 cubic meter gas generation, you need cow dung of more than 4,000 or 5,000 cows or buffaloes. And the cost of the whole biogas plant, upgradation system, compressor and dispensing system will be nearly 2.5 crore rupees. And on that, 20% subsidy is given by the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy Sources. And now Ministry of Petroleum has borrowed money from the World Bank and other Japan.
No,
And
without
they-
subsidy. I'm asking, is it profitable without subsidy? This is my
So
question. If it is not right now, it is not, then it's okay, no problem.
It is economically viable only when you are putting up a system more than 2,000 cubic meter per day capacity.
No, I will invest 2 and 3 crores, but will
Yeah.
I get profitable without government subsidy? Is it possible?
It is viable and economical,
Okay,
and
thank
that's why more than 450 entrepreneurs had applied for taking up licenses, letter of intent from this Indian Oil, BPCL, HPCL in the country for compressed biogas program.
Thank you. Any other question is there? Please, I leave it to. Please raise your hand. I can't see all of you. Panelists also put it. Yeah. Gajan Singh, please.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vijay.
Yeah, sir.
I think my question is same as Syed, because for a long-term sustainability of any system,
Yes,
we cannot depend on subsidies.
correct. 100% correct.
Because I think they have to compete in the market.
Yes.
So, and your successful model is at 2.5 crore or so.
That is
I
minimum
think we should work on the systems which will be somewhere in between, which a young entrepreneur can get a loan from the bank and all that. And then, so do you have any projects to look at the viability on that basis?
Yeah. So I had a discussion with the Ministry of Petroleum as well as Ministry of Renewable Energy, and 2 propositions they are putting forward for the country for new entrepreneurs, that they can provide a soft loan to the entrepreneur, those who are willing to start their compressed biogas system in the villages, and that will be at the rate of 6-7%. Presently, banks are giving loans at the 12, 13, 14%. Whereas for this particularly bio CNG or CBG program, they can give loan at the rate of say 6-7%. Number one. Number two, then other benefits, green energy and environmental support they can provide to entrepreneurs. And that's why nearly 450 applicants have registered with these 3 companies, Indian Oil, Bharat Petroleum and HPCL. They will put up their compressed biogas plants, large scale system at different locations in the country. Mainly 30 plants are coming in Punjab and Haryana, and the rest are in other parts of the country. And they are looking forward that it will be a beneficial system, economically viable system, and they will be earning, all the entrepreneurs will be earning from it. And generally the payback period they are envisaging is nearly 3 years, 3.5 years.
I see there is a lesson in the Matunga experiment, which was the first one, because of a big number of cows in the dairy industry, and they were supplying the requirement for gas and pasteurization and even lighting, all that in Matunga in those years. So to me, that model is still relevant.
Yeah. And you see, already MNRE claims they have given support for 5 million biogas plants. And how many of these are working? Still, there is a question mark for that. I feel that not more than 1 million plants may be working in the villages. But performance has improved in last few years. Earlier, it was not because of various reasons. But slowly, environmental awareness and utilization of waste and Swachh Bharat mission and other aspects are becoming more important, and therefore this kind of technologies are becoming more relevant and more appropriate for rural household, for urban household. Even in urban areas now segregation is taking place in households, organic as well as recyclable material. Organic can be utilized for composting or biogas production. So even in IIT campus, I am collecting or kitchen waste from 200 households, running my plant, and that biogas is upgraded and then utilized in the vehicle. That kind of model can at least be demonstrated all over the country in different campuses.
Thank you. We have many
project on using the city waste, because handling the solid waste in the cities is a big challenge. So they are already such a cost to the municipalities. So that resource of money could be utilized not only collection and producing biogas and convert to electricity or whatever it is. So at least there is a commitment there, and we need to maintain the hygiene condition in the cities.
In Delhi itself, there are about 15 dairy clusters where they are having more than 200,000 buffaloes in these 15 dairy clusters, and most of their cow dung is going into the Yamuna River, and that is washed away. So recently, NGT, National Green Tribunal, has taken a severe action on the municipalities that they have to utilize this cow dung for biogas production and then its upgradation and filling it into the natural gas grid. And they already tendered it, and many vendors are coming. And very soon, within next 1 year or 2 years, you will be seeing all the cow dung of these dairy clusters will be utilized for biogas production and its utilization.
Thank you.
Okay, we have another question. Robish Mighty.
Yeah.
Quickly ask your question,
Yeah,
because
Dr. Vijay, very short one.
Yeah.
Very short one. You
Sure.
continued only promoting, compressed biogas. Is that the only viable? And biogas as regular is not viable?
No, that is the most viable. Utilizing biogas as a cooking fuel in a household level is the most viable thing. But if you are having large quantity of gas available in dairies, in goshalas, in municipalities where organic waste is large quantities available, then you can have option whether you can utilize it for power generation or you can utilize it for regular fuel.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, a lot of questions are there. So please forgive me. I have to go fast.
Sure,
I'll give chance to everyone to make it short.
Sure.
Sachin Nalavade, your question, please.
Good evening, everybody. Sir, it was nice lecture and
come to the
question, please.
Okay, I will go to my question directly.
Lecture.
Basically, in our university, we have one plant which is already closed up. We got around 600 cattle and it was not running. And we have tried to rerun it, but it is not possible because material handling is a very big problem. You are saying that 4,000 cows and the viable project is 4,000 cows. But how to handle that raw material and how to handle the waste material which is coming out of the and how to maintain that particular biogas plant on corporate level also, please.
One thing I would like to mention here, that the digested material or digested cow dung or digested slurry which is coming out of a biogas plant is very good quality fertilizer. And in Punjab state, there are 2 villages.
No. Dr. Vijay, his question was different. His question was transportation. How are you going to logistics? He's talking about logistics, bringing the cow dung and taking it back. So
I am giving an example.
No, do you have solution? No.
Yes,
do you have solution for logistics, please?
Yes, logistics I am talking about. There is a Hoshiarpur in Punjab state, and in Hoshiarpur district there is a village called Muningi, where there is 100 families are residing there. They are having a cooperative. What they are doing, they have put up a large size biogas plant, and in the morning, 7 a.m., a tractor trolley is moving in the whole village. Cow dung is collected. There is a weighing machine. There is a web app for that. And anybody who is putting up how much quantity of cow dung is there, that is recorded automatically in their mobile application.
Thank you. Okay, I think we go to the next question.
Then slurry is utilizing in tractor trolleys. They are selling it and they are distributed in the whole farms.
Okay, thank you. Next, Pramod Kumar Sahu, can you ask your question?
Dr. Vijay, my question is very simple. A lot of things has been done in biogas. So do you think any researchable issues are left, or simply we can go for promotion only? And my second query is, when you go for multiple feedstock, how you optimize the design of a digester? Multiple feedstock. So how you optimize the design of a digester?
Okay, thank you.
So here is the research is required, that utilizing the multiple feedstock how we can optimize the gas production, and around that time how we can have the maximum quantity of gas.
Okay.
So people have not designed in last 30 years multiple
Dr. Vijay, come.
materials.
Okay.
Yeah.
Come to the point. First question. We have next. We have Mr. Raghupati.
Yes, sir. Yes. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, please ask your question.
Okay. As a retired banker, I would like to say that the biogas exploration or whatever it is called is not successful because nowhere the economics does not satisfy the proponent. So we have financed thousands of units of biogas to thousands of farmers, which were not at all repaid, and we cannot work out the economics. So it is high time that the production of biogas should be economically viable, so that the proponents, or you can even encourage the startups to have it as a large scale production unit with a bank finance, and then only the question of the economics of the production of the biogas will work out. All these non-renewable energy resources, everything without the subsidy of the government of India will not be successful. That's my opinion.
Thank you. Thank you. His
Now,
only
now
opinion.
the time has
No.
come to come into that category.
Dr. Vijay, his opinion. He is a banker. He is told he was general manager.
I can
So he
understand
told his opinion. No. Let's stop that. I think we'll not go to conflicts. Let's not. Please. Next question we have. We understood your point and we understood your argument also. Next one, we have Chandra Prakash, please. Chandra Prakash. Okay. We have Dr. Avinash Gautam. Dr. Avinash Gautam, can you unmute your mic first? You have to unmute.
Good evening, sir. Sir, you told you are running your vehicle from since 8 years. So what was the did you have to change anything in your vehicle? And if we are comparing with the commercial fuels, so how long it will take to break even?
Yeah. So this is just the CNG vehicle. We haven't changed anything in the vehicle, and because we are maintaining the CNG quality fuel in the same quality of biogas, and CNG is similar, the hydrogen sulfide content and carbon dioxide content and methane content. So that vehicle is running very well, and there is no issue in that.
Okay. Now we have another question from Rajeshwar. Rajeshwar, please.
Hello.
Yeah, please go ahead with it.
I want to give information to IIT Delhi as well as to all participants here. Mahindra World City, there is a biogas plant formerly made by Mahindra, and then in many cities now they are being installed with a plan of biogas consumption using food waste also. And already buses and tractors are running with biogas. So I suggest you collaborate with Mahindra. What they are doing is a company, Waste Energy Limited. Mahindra has started. Maybe you can work with them and you can come with a practical solution for rural. No, let me complete, sir. I know everything. 37 years I have been to agriculture engineering and I understand biogas technologies. Okay, I want to make one point to you. In rural environment, you find tractors. 40 lakh tractors are there. Can you think of making tractor to work with biogas, compressed gas? Simple. Find a solution for that. You will pay 90% of energy consumption from diesel.
I think we'll have questions instead of suggestions. Very short. Because we don't have time. We don't have time. Listen to me, please.
I will respond to it. Already we have licensed our technology to Mahindra, and the Mahindra World biogas plant was constructed by us only, and the technology is being licensed by us to that. And Mahindra is preparing a biogas tractor, and we are also concentrated to that.
Thank you.
And very soon the biogas tractor will come into picture.
That's nice.
Yeah. Okay. Mukesh Kumar.
Yes. I am audible, sir.
Ask the question, please, Mukesh.
Hello. I am audible, sir.
Okay. Rajesh Soni.
Yeah.
Yeah, please, Rajesh Soni, please.
The opportunities for using biogas through methane, the cow dung, etc., is very limited, and the next challenge is to go through the crop residue system. So unless you can do it, I think there is very little scope for the technology that you are talking.
So rice straw based biogas plants are coming in whole Punjab. And
What
very
is the
soon we'll be
success rate? What is the success rate?
These are coming up.
Coming up means what is the technology that has been proven?
There are many technologies are being imported, also Indian technologies and
I have to stay here. We have run out of time because we already we have only 15 minutes more. We have 2 more activities to be done. I think unless some senior persons want to ask a question, I will allow. Anyone question from any senior person? I see Tiwari there in the front. I see anybody who has worked already in biogas want to talk? Okay. Okay, fine. Thank you very much, Dr. Vijay. It's biogas has been always a topic which people disagree to talk and agree to talk because the government has put a lot of money inside. And for example, the points you told, like government will force HPCL and these people to do, the forcing will not work for a long time. So what we entrepreneurs looking, a solution technology must come from, like I told you, I can get 2 crores, but you guarantee me I get 25% profit. If you don't get 25% profit, then that's the reason I asked the question. The people who are working in biogas, will you invest your saving 25% on this entrepreneurship? If you don't want to invest, let us not talk about that time. Now let us go ahead to the next topic. I think we had yesterday on 20th, we have a topic again from Dr. Barua, talked about a small village biogas plant and to utilize in a farm. And Robesh Maiti has made a small model from our team. What all consideration to be there to make it successful? Robesh Maiti, please.
Yeah.
Robesh Maiti, yeah. You have 10 minutes.
Can you? Yeah. Can you? Yeah. So, so good evening, everybody. So from last project, I've been thinking, and discussed with also Dr. Syed, that we have to define the next step because this is a TAG, team we define, and this is a different kind of a webinar which we want to continue. It's not just a technical training online. So we said we as a tech experts will do a work.
Robesh,
yes.
Sorry. Can you explain what is TAG to all the audience?
Yeah, technical assistance group consisting of the experts who would like to engage in trying to do a problem solving by technology intervention, by either guiding, supporting, or even training. So, so can you go to the next, Setu? Next. So, so this is the presentation which came from Dr. Barua, and of course, when today Dr. Vijay presented, it looked like my presentation probably needs improvement. But as we kept on discussing a little more, and it looks like we are peeling off the onion, and we found that out of 5 million, only 1 million biogas plants are working, which indicates that there is some amount of quite a bit of, I'll say, inefficiencies on overall system. When I talk about inefficiencies, it's not only the production inefficiency, it's also economical inefficiencies it looked like. So we have to probably look at this as a total system and say that it's a system where we improve the efficiency, both production as well as the economical, and provide the differentiation which Dr. Syed has been asking several times. And earlier also, Dr. Gajendra and Dr. Indramani asked a similar question. It looks like that we have to have a different model. So here are some of the technology interventions which were expressed by Dr. Barua, which is thermal energy, pH management, flow management, quality, and others. Can you go to the next slide? So I tried to put, just a value chain, treat it like a factory. And we thought that these are the technology interventions we were talking about, between these as a production technology intervention. At the same time, if you look at the input also considered, then we are looking at some more technology interventions over there. And on that day, when Dr. Gajendra Singh was very much vocal about saying a single use, and today it proved that a single use will not be useful. So he said that probably we need to take off a community, have a bigger biogas plant, and say solution is. So it all given an indication that we probably have a problem here. And I tried to define, it looked like the production efficiency is low. overall system use efficiency is low. There are issues. The systems are closed down. I think Rahuri also, Sachin also talked about today the same, and the commercial viability and interest is low. That's how we concluded that it's taking a long time. Next slide, please. So this is general. So please go to the next slide. It was better explained in Dr. Vijay. So I said that probably we need to define the key success factors for this. Maybe the production efficiency has to increase 4 to 5 times. When I say that, and the use efficiency 90%, whereby it really becomes any technology, whenever we put any new technology or technology intervention, there is going to be a cost increase, which is similar comment I made that time, but it should make really big improvements to see that what Dr. Syed said, 25% return on investment, a return in 2 or 3 years would really be very attractive. So I put some numbers. It is a hypothetical number, but when we, as a team, we are saying the expert group, we talk about it, we talk to the institute and form these numbers. These are the 2 ones. Then of course we should create, it looks like a branding, this is really a good energy. It's not a rural energy alone. Now Dr. Vijay Kumar also said that, it can be used for car, it can be used for scooters. So I think there has to be a delight, and mobile apps is already very popular over there. We said that in such a situation, we need to have a commercial intelligence, which encompasses the complete system. And of course, we are saying if it becomes very, very attractive, if the return on investment is in 3 years, it's from my experience over there. Of course, when we talk as a team, when there's a project leader, who could be an entrepreneur supported by a TAG, we have to probably come out with a service model. And that's what we have been talking about. Yeah, next page, please. So this is just a thought process as how do we do, because the way we formed this webinar this time is a practical hands-on experience. We said we have not defined the modus operandi or the overall structure, how it works, but we believe it will be evolved eventually. So we said, let's define some next steps. So we said, okay, in this case, probably we need to get the institute define all the ecosystem gaps. And today we talked quite a bit of that. We have a TAG team and an institute define how to close the gaps over there. We have a team which gets defined for this, which also looks at these gaps and says these are the technology intervention possible with respect to the type of expectations. And we are saying that there has to be a project leader defined and maybe aspirant entrepreneur we select over there. We are saying that a team is defined, a project plan is made, and a financial model. I think this project leader in the beginning itself has to define a financial model, which could be a service model, as Dr. Gajan said. And also, I think some of those compressed biogas we are talking about, probably that has to come out by this time. And we have to have miles. Now, those maybe the interventions do result into a good, results after a year and a half. But we have to define milestones and schedules for those such that we can review them. And that's where I have said in the last, we have to form a sort of a review board. So these are just my thought processes over there. We believe that institutes and of course, Dr. Vijay Kumar has, said about IIT. I think some of the projects about the inefficiency has to be taken by institute, while the TAG system, which is modern technologies of sensors, IoTs, embedded system, they help it. That's all from my side, and I leave the floor for open. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Setu, can you close the slide, please? Thank you very much. Now I will allow anybody to comment on this also because from tab group suggestion what he told. Anybody want to add on it? You can have.
Yeah.
Anybody? Yeah, please.
Anji Sai is there. Yeah.
Anybody?
There, yeah. From
Naren, please.
Yeah. So, I think if we can, along with TAG and with these experts who have worked for 25, 30 years in biogas technology, if we can come out with 2-3 elements which can sort of provide us a disruptive model, either technically or financial model, like let's say, for example, liquefaction of biomass, by biogas, for example, like you have LPGs, for example. So for transportation, it becomes easy. So what is those 1 or 2 disruptive elements, if we can get from those who have worked for longer time in biogas, that will help the TAG group?
So most important is that multi-feed digester. That is very important. You can make use of cow dung, you can make use of agricultural residue, you can make use of your household kitchen waste, or you can make use of any other organic materials which are available, and you can have a robust digester which can be utilized for all these feed materials. So that is one, and no research has been done in that context in last 20, 30, 40 years. And one more thing I would like to say, that out of 5 million biogas plants, if 4 million biogas plants are not working, it is not because they are not working, because they have lived their life. Out of 5 million biogas plants, 3 million biogas plants have already lived their life more than 20 years or 25 years. So we cannot say, yeah.
No, but I think that is a questionable. A lot of people are asking us, we are talking about, actually this whole thing is to bring entrepreneurship in the youngsters to come out. It's not a government funded, we are not looking at all. We are looking at the entrepreneurs to bring more to the agriculture engineering technology into the view. So that is the objective. So any other comment is there? Anybody else? Because it's important topic. We have spent a lot of time. So I think this I will give a time.
Barua is there, yes.
Barua,
Yes.
please.
Yes, Vijay's presentations, my colleagues was brought up very good, but Rovesh has very beautifully presented this extended the idea. And I definitely hope that this group will bring something what is expected. The science questions whether the scientist will invest 25% will definitely should also be addressed in these technological things. System efficiency, then other issues Vijay sir has told that multi-crop feedstocks, their research, that part should also be taken. Just for your, I am tempted to inform you that I got some fund from SARB, Science Engineering Research Board of Government of India, this time around 2.5 crore. And Vijay sir is also one of our mentor here. And that multi-crop feedstocks, multi-crop residues, that is available at seasonal. How can we make it? That research is already got some fund, and maybe this technology TAG group will be very useful. And let us come together. Obviously, the national issue that I already hinted, solar power is going because there are some advantages. We'll have to follow it. It should be available. This technology should be available. 8 years, we should understand. With all respect to Vijay sir, 8 years he is running only one biogas your car. There should have been more cars. There are some you're in IT campus.
Okay. Let's not go into that conflict.
Yeah.
Agree. Now we got your point. Now I think the solar energy completely different playground to talk about. But biogas, what I like is the residue. Actually, some farmers asked me from Baroda when I visited about 3 months back. See, residues, people, how to make it again as a compost quickly. So some spraying, something can be done. Whatever may be, you want a solution. The residue can be made as a compost quickly also for the agricultural purpose.
So there are many
right now, for example, but I know, for example,
of this slurry,
I'm talking about actually like BISA is doing already on the residue directly putting, or Ludhiana also they're doing that work. But I think this is one more topic. But I think biogas, like what Dr. Gajan Singh was talking on 20th. How do you make it as a small enterprise? What I'm talking about, cluster of 10 villages. That's what I think, probably 10 villages, 20 villages, I don't know. A local entrepreneur who can probably give gas supply to the house. This is Gajan Singh's idea. Gajan Singh's idea is excellent. I liked it very much because gas supply to residents, not individual person, but to one entrepreneur takes up, let us say 10 villages or whatever maybe, that somebody has to do, and let it promote without the government intervention. The biggest problem is the government subsidy only we give, none of them work as financial model. Like for example, the person banker talked to you, he was a general manager of a bank, a big bank. And how many loans given, how many people cannot pay, these are all facts today. We cannot go on living in dream, according to me, about how our forefathers lived before 100 years, 50 years. That is, we are doing nothing for this society. According to me, we have to do what we have done. 30 years working in biogas, we have to bring some solution. Full stop to that. Full stop to that, this way or other way. We cannot actually go on saying again, because this, for example, gas is very cheap now. Gas, normal gas, I mean, petrol is very cheap now. So it cannot go, like CNG, I have seen, because I worked on for the vehicles and all about, and you have low pressure for the household items. Like Mumbai, we have gas connections. So this all, we cannot replace it with biogas. Actually, we cannot say that we don't use it, only biogas. Everything will fail. Because now the question is, and again, government policies is not the this floor to talk. Actually, we should avoid a little bit less, because yes, we want to take the benefits from the government works on it, but let's work on technically how to make it successful. I am very sure with the few words, anybody else, one more, Dr. V.K. Tiwari, one more person we can talk, because the next was scheduled to be on technical talk on how to measure energy, electrical energy. That is very important, because we don't monitor. Like for example, today, even biogas plants are monitored. Like you're talking 5 million and somebody says 1 million and 3 million, who knows it exactly? Because Barua, when I talked to him before a month back, before I got into that whole thing of this webinar too, when you're talking, he told there are a lot of places, they don't know acidity may be the problem. The farmer doesn't use. How will I go and measure the acidity there? Whether acidic or whatever it is, how will I measure? So these are all the techniques we are talking about, biogas mentioned. So I think technology will help now. I am confident technology will help to make the biogas a profitable venture to do it. So somebody want to conclude? Dr. Gajen Singh probably to conclude, and then Dr. Indramani will say thanks. First, Dr. Gajen Singh can conclude.
I have already said my thing. I think having lived in a village, have seen so many biogas plants in villages, I'm convinced that the individual plants really do not make economic sense. And second one was the management. Initially, somebody takes responsibility of feeding cow dung. After a few months, he or she says, well, I have done enough, somebody else should do it. And within the family, nobody wants to take up. And then again, the taking out the slurry and all that. These are very silly, simple things. But at family level, who wants to do that dirty job? Okay. But if it is an enterprise, successful economic supply for a village, I'll go for it. And then if necessary, if excess bottling, then you can use on a tractor or whatever it is. So I think I go for it enterprise level and look for economic systems. Thank you.
Dr. Indramani.
Thank you, Dr. Vijay. It was really very interesting what you presented, what you are doing in the field, and then all this, how you're trying to bring industry. I too feel that in this webinar, we have been talking, that myth or solution. So we have to differentiate that this is going to be, very clearly say, it's not a myth, it's a solution. So how it can be made solution? Professor Singh raised a very important point. That was, and you also said, and that my friend from Maharashtra added that they closed their, this biogas plant. I feel that logistic is one very important aspect. I have a small example that we used to make compost by pit method, and there was limitation of pit method. But in IRI, we convert from pit method we went to another mechanized method of compost making, and for that we developed 2-3 technologies. So we scale up the technology, and then handling and transportation, everything was mechanized, and that's how it came as a very good solution for compost making. And we in IRI used to purchase compost of 35 lakh rupees every year, and now we don't purchase even ounce of compost, and we are making our own, and 15-20 lakh rupees compost we are selling also, and 3/4 that plant we have installed at different location in the country. The one reason of the success was that what Professor Singh said, that young boys and girls in the villages are not ready to work with soil. How do we expect they will work with the cow dung? So this is one very important thing, that we have to mechanize the handling and other things, make this system a smart one, so that once you enter a biogas plant, there should not be filth and other things. Make it more presentable, and then size what Dr. Vijay has mentioned. If it is 2,000 cubic meter or in between somewhere, that we have to think, so that startups should come and take up this as an entrepreneurial activity, not like simply chat. It is very, very true that it will not work on subsidy. But many other things, Dr. Vijay, has to be added with it, that what you said, slurry, then benefit to environment, all these costs are to be added to biogas. It is not simply gas cost. So that we have to think, because energy is a limitation, energy is a problem. So how to bring about solution? And then finally, the TAG, our technology application group, the presentation which was made by my colleague and appreciated by Dr. Barua, and that is the purpose of this webinar. I'm very happy that we are moving towards our aim and goal. And I will request that Dr. Barua and Dr. Vijay, few other people, and including banker, the gentleman who made a very important comment. Let us join together and come out with a vision kind of this and action plan, that how all these experiences can be collected, collated, and we can put up as a solution, that what technology level, what we have to do. It is true that for a small level biogas plant, nothing has been done in last many years. So there is definitely scope of technological interventions. There is definitely scope of business model, to bring a business model and bring to some say automation that you have not, and this management and the logistic, all these should put, if this group can put up a paper, that this should, when ISA will basically work for it and will provide logistic fund, etc., whatever it is. So this kind of a paper should come, that this is the way ahead. And with some your all experiences from industry, this are can be occurred. With this, if we can work, then I think this will be a good idea, and we will say that we are succeeding.
One point. Yeah, one point. I think we can help, the TAG group can help to monitor it remotely, all your plans, what you're having. That we will give it to you. We will give it to you. The sensors we will put, we will see to it. Data is coming to one place to see the efficiency, how much utilized, what is the problem, that we can do. That is our objective actually. So I am very keen, because we have experts in the TAG group who can do this practically and bring the results. So I think we can offer this to whichever plants you are having now, in a big plants also, we want to monitor it. Yes, we can provide, not individual one, small, what you say, the 400, 500 people have applied for it. You make it compulsory, they must have monitoring solutions. Because I know this already, solar pumps, I know from Chhattisgarh, they installed 5,000 pumps and people don't know whether they're working or not. I mean, it's funded. There is no data centralized place where I can say 3,000 pumps are working, 2,000 are some problem, and panel is to be cleaned. There are so many points that are coming. I think I'll make it next day for the IoT solutions for monitoring. I think monitoring is a must before investing. Yeah. Thank you.
I think, thank you very much. And friends, let me tell you, this webinar 2.0 is not, it's a daily event. So, we will still contribute the energy, and next one will be solar energy. We have, speaker from National Institute of Solar Energy, next one, and we will have in next week. We will announce the date, and through email, to at least 2 days in advance, we will announce, and then we will, see the next topic for presentation, and we will see that at least 2-3 presentation in solar energy, including solar pump, which Dr. Syed has been mentioning in most of the time. So we will have, solar will be the one.
We need a good speakers. We need a practically who is doing the work. I will tell you actually, because we practically who is having problems with solar pumps, we can help. So this is type of, if you don't get enough speakers on the solar pumps, we continue with the next theme. But I think right now, as it is, every 3 days, next meeting will be on Tuesday, but we'll inform you 24 hours before. Because everybody's working now, so we'll do that.
With this, thank you very much. Thank you all, and particularly to Dr. Vijay for giving sharing his experiences, and
thank you very much to all of you, and particularly ISCJ, my branch. And I would like to mention 2 things quickly. One, in Maharashtra, in a few districts, Kolhapur district, there are few villages which are having 100% biogas plants, and they repair, maintain themselves. They are operating it. And in the Ujjwala scheme, when government was providing them free LPG cylinders, they have not accepted it. And still they are maintaining. अगर एक घर में नया आज family बनता है, नया मकान बनाते हैं, they first built a biogas plant and then they move in that plant. So there are few villages, their toilets are connected, they are utilizing biogas plant, and they are totally running biogas plants in that village. In Punjab, there are 2-3 villages, commercial model, business model, कि उन्होंने 70 घर हैं, 70 घर के 70 घर अपना काऊ डंग उसमें कंट्रीब्यूट करते हैं, बायोगैस प्लांट पाइपलाइन से पूरे गांव में डिस्ट्रीब्यूट होता है, 3 घंटे सुबह 3 घंटे शाम को, और पूरा फर्टिलाइजर उनको टैंकर्स में लेके जाते हैं, और उसके भी
solution है अभी solution है.
But what we are talking, we should monitor all those things.
Yes,
because we know that we are okay. Thank you. I think I will call very late now. We'll call today. Thank you very much for all of you.
Thank you.